Thanks for joining us. Okay, yeah, we got the cat here. I'm not going to move her. Just get crazy on me. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was looking for a quick a clip, the thumbnail for this, and the Zeta energies came through, so I kind of did their realm. Bright and cheery reality that they're connected to. Doesn't mean that's going to happen to our reality. It just bore us to death with politics and everything. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't mean they're not trying to pull in, a nuclear war and all that. Obviously, they keep bringing it up every week? Probably. I don't know. I never really looked it up. You probably look it up and probably say it every week, probably. God, jeez. So I think like that's like a Zeta world times 1,000. Jeez. So anyway, so yeah, we don't always know the stakes that are here, but you don't have to focus on it. It's not worth it. But the Zeta energies that are here, I mean, the ones that have been through worlds that have been wiped out are definitely here. It's another reason why some of us are here. Doesn't mean that you're always dictators of the universe and all that. You also have another job. That's making sure this world doesn't blow itself up. It doesn't mean you like the incarnation that you chose. You have to be where you need to be. And location has a lot to do with it too. It does get old. It does get, yeah, it's not what's correct at to be, that's for sure. Yeah, it's kind of like being different ways of looking at it. Some might feel like they're living a prison incarnation, and that might be true. Without going into the details of that. But then there's like you're stationed in a certain spot. Maybe that's a better way of wording it for some. But some might feel like it's actually a jail, but it might not be, but it might just feel that way. It's hard to say on that one. They call it a bubble, but it's more like a prison bubble. I guess it could be worse, I guess. I don't know. It's not, whatever. I'm not going to go into details of that. Spoken from experience. Sometimes not always karma. Sometimes it's just dealing with difficult situations. So in this world, it's just you see how humanity is. I mean, being a scumbag for many is normal. And sure, no problem. It's just that some of us have to go through it and listen to it. It just gets kind of old after a while. It's like the theme of a good portion of society. And they say, oh, just go be that. It's like, yeah, well, the rest of us have to put up with it. So, yeah, that's how it's correct that to be. Yeah, it does get old, that's for sure. But yeah, go be a free spirit, and no matter the consequences on everyone that's around you. Yeah, who needs responsibility, right? There's a lot of that, a lot of non-responsibility. But anyway, another thing is, so is there? I don't know. I wasn't looking for their stuff. I just felt some of it coming through. So, also, my favorite topic. I like bringing this up a lot. Spirit guide Betrayal. Well, it all depends. It depends on. For some people that are just difficult to be around, sometimes you got, I guess some of the most difficult people, and they probably have the best guides, and these people just walk over their guides and trash them and everything. Of course, also guides can be manipulated into your bad habits. I don't know. Feels like that's rare, but it can happen, which is kind of messed up. You get stuck in your ways and they get stuck in it too. Eventually they gotta get kicked out too. And you also get kicked out of a situation too. But it doesn't mean you'll go through that situation for 5 or 10 years. Jeez. Yeah. But some to go back to Oh yeah, your station in life, or your location, or it doesn't mean it have to be community service. It could also be just, I don't know. It's like it's a military operation, like it's on alien spiritual level, and it just sometimes it's just once again it's incarnations that are not nobody wants, or just whatever it is. Yeah, it's hard to go into all those details of that. So many different ways of looking at it. Where this is all going, obviously, you have some idea. There's, you know, Punky Brewster. Oh yeah, uploaded the box, the box man or box head box man music video. I haven't checked it recently. Those are fun to do though. Kind of lighten things up a little bit. Yeah, the movies I make are kind of heavy. Like you need a college degree to understand some of them. It can be a little bit much for a lot, especially the ones I have not released yet. I'm probably gonna hold on for them for a while, but I'm gonna do more of the upbeat stuff. I got another one coming out tomorrow. I'm gonna try and do one a day. Sometimes it'd be short, sometimes it'd be 2 minutes. I'm trying to do a music video a day. Let's see how that goes. Have some fun. I write the songs to that stuff, and the generator makes it sound like a song, but it's all I write them all. Not that I'm putting a lot of time into it. Putting it together it takes a while, that's for sure. And you can't. It's not perfect yet, obviously. I'm trying to do the best I can with it. So the cats are going to get their own music video. That's coming. That's Saturday. Yeah, they're going to have a cat video. It's going to be for sale, and they're not. It won't be them, but it'll be. It'll be a cat music video. It'll be funny too. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I'm working at a coffee shop, putting hair in everybody's coffee. I'm not sure that's going to be the main theme of the song. We'll see. That'll be fun. Yeah, K-pop I have over here. Feline K-pop. I'm like their manager. Resigns.com. Private sessions. Scheduler. Yeah, the shop here. And if I put the event, oh yeah, here's the event upcoming next week. Actually, you can book. I feel I'm not getting a whole lot of traction, so my schedule is extremely cleaned out. So, anyway, but this is in person. But anyway, I'll be there for a short time. I'm not sure. I'm not think I'm gonna spend too much time there. I got other things to do. So, yeah, music manager of your cat's music career. So it's pretty kind of a big deal. Got nothing else going on, that's for sure. So okay, we're going to Zeta energies and their timeline. I'm not gonna go too much into that. Just like their point of view of our reality. Not that we're gonna blow this place up or anything like that. It's just a lot of protections around it. Yeah, to go into before I go into that. So going into like yesterday's about like worlds being taken over. And this one has been to a certain level. And even I made some of the movies I made about that, like you go through a person and you're already seeing that without going into details. Some that have a huge following and talk in a hypnotic trance, like always happy and manipulating the shit out of everybody, and it's working. Well, by the numbers, unless it's all NPCs and all bots, which I doubt it's all that, but there might be some of that there. This shows how people are they're just not prepared for what's here, but they can go through an individual, a female or a male, and manipulate society. That's one way of doing it, but they have to allow it. It's like a vampire coming in, but it comes through your energy, or a screwed up spirit guide for that matter, or someone. Yeah, it's kind of messed up. Well, I mean, I've had guides to go. I've had a guide take away from me. I could literally feel me being fired. It wasn't that great to begin with, so I'm not sure what the arrangement was to begin. I don't want to know really. Just kind of a scummy guide, but it helped me go into the channeling, which is interesting. That's about it. Other than that, I never cared much for him. So seeing him go was not. I didn't have a problem with that. Yeah, I never really cared about the Ulysses guide I had. I never really cared. He's on my website too. I think it's, but I never cared much for him. I knew he was there, but I never liked him. Kind of just, I guess it was kind of 50-50, but I just was never a fan. And having getting fired was the bad. Sometimes you can't get rid of these old. Without going into the term, the verbiage I want to use on it, sometimes you just can't get rid of them. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can have a contract with a piece of crap with a garbage guide, basically. I think that must have been what was going on. So I can know that there's, it's education for me to know that there's, the guys can be pretty terrible. They can be good too. Mostly, I think, usually it's pretty decent. Not always, but yeah, it's a tough subject matter. Well, if you're like on drugs, alcoholism, or just going down the drain, it's hard to connect to them, obviously. Or you've been influenced by your friends more than your guides. Like, what's for your highest goods? They just go by what your friends or peers are telling you. And that's some individuals, which I've seen that, I've experienced it not too long ago, where they kind of just give up on themselves and just let other people run their lives, which is kind of messed up. And become an NPC, which is fucked up. Yeah. Yeah, this world doesn't have, well, this universe doesn't have the best track record either. That's the other thing. So, not to like throw this world under the bus, like it's just, a failure and all that. The universe has a lot of issues itself. So, we're a reflection of the universe itself. So, if our world has issues, the universe has all these issues too. So, we're just, if the universe is a drunk alcoholic, they can't make a good decision of life dependent on it. We're experiencing it here. Sometimes you have to go through all the darkness, obviously, to make some kind of good decision at some point. But yeah, just, if you're going to be here for a while, you might as well go through all the teachings you can say to deal with the parasite planet, or whatever you want to call it, that's here. Yeah, the universe can be ran by a bunch of lunatics, basically. No surprise there, right? Probably. I don't think, and most people don't think about it that much. Try to look at the universe as something, hopefully that's good, but you see this world and see all the decisions of the guides and all that's like, is the universe really, it's got a lot of issues. And that's not the common core. This goes further beyond that. This universe, is weak. It's obviously has arrogance. You can see that in this world, but also just, it just doesn't want it to, it's just kind of fractured. So anyway, I'm not going into all the details of that, but that's a perspective anyway. Doesn't really matter. All right, going to Zeta energies and spirit guide frequencies. Agrees with the Zeta consciousness. Some of you incarnated with the Zeta frequencies to assist with its downfall from other realities, other incarnations. Well, it's another human experience where the humans had more power, you say, than they deserved. And you see parts of that here. You hear some of your CEOs, like Mark Zuckerberg is from a Zeta reality. And you see what he wants to do to this society. Think about if he was actually successful. Yes, he's successful to a certain level, but he's not as successful as he'd like to be. So there's a lot of, and why is he here? No. Yeah, that's not, it's, you say to do something good. I mean, there is some good being done there to some level, but there's still obviously a lot of darkness there. There's just a lot of, yeah. These are touchy subject matters. Even the aliens I wanted to talk about because yes, they want to be a high frequency, you know, agendas, but they don't always have the best. They don't always make the best decisions either, and they know that. Well, they just, they a lot of them look the other direction. They don't want to see what they're allowed to see. Some do, but most don't. Well, they want the good life. It depends on what reality you're in. There's nothing wrong with having that. But there's other realities where they're ignoring where the pain is, where the suffering is. You hear individuals say they want to save the world and all of that. But there are cases where that's actually allowed and then they ignore it. Or it doesn't mean they're necessarily like saving the world. I mean, you're with others to just do the right thing, you can say. To just, not just for the frequency of yourselves, but just the right thing. And be surprised how many at a higher frequency don't always do that. Well, they feel like they're lowering their frequency by assisting anybody, or they can get very prejudiced at the same time. So there's nothing perfect anywhere. It's always a high and low to any experience. So even if you might have all this knowledge, but yes, you become very arrogant. You even destroy yourself because of it, because you might feel like you don't have enough. And it's just a balance is very difficult. Like your shortcomings, but you don't let it consume you and ruin you. So with the Zeta realities, which some of you can pick up on, others are just don't want anything to do with it. Yeah, there's some abduction being. Some Zetas do abductions that some people are still bitter about. Well, because they find the vulnerabilities among those that feel like they're so powerful. So powerful individuals can be male or female. And we'll just put an example, like a Zeta race might find their weakness and take them down. And that person might, or being, or whoever, might not have gotten over that. Like they might, yes, put themselves on a pedestal. And I haven't quite healed that just yet. And that can take a long time to heal something like that. But you feel like you're invulnerable and then someone finds your weakness. Others say, okay, well, I'm glad you found that. That was painful, but thank you for, for something like that. Some are humble about it. Many aren't. Some of you have been through that on both sides. Either found the exploit or went through it yourself. We'll just leave you with that. So. Greens is spirit guide or astral energies without the spirit. Well, without being the spirit guides, to give you a neutral. Well, guides can be corrupted by frequency, just like your world, depending on the guide. And there are guides that do see it, but if a person agrees to that like a sickling guide, and that person allows that teachings or that point of view to come through, yes, it can manipulate the person. But sometimes, yes, some guides just enforce it. Like they have such a bad frequency. If they can get their anger out through you, they might be frustrated where they are, and they get it through you. It's like, why am I being so mad and all that? And sometimes your guides do fight too. This is very rare, but it does happen. So you might feel it at the same time, especially when you bring in difficult people into your incarnation or whatever it might be, and you can test everybody, including your guides, quitting. Even your guys that don't have the problems that you do, they can still feel a lot. They see too much, but also they can feel too much and just they can get misguided also. I mean, yes, they know where you need to go, but it's difficult to get you there, and it's going to be very painful. I mean, they just like you, they're trying to steer you into the right direction, but sometimes you're hard to steer. You're not always listening. Sometimes it's a last minute situation, wherever it might be. There's some situations when you get into, yes, like borrowing someone's car and then something happens to it, not to put that out there. But sometimes it's just things you need to go through, but you'll get through it. And it's like, why did I go through that? But you got through it though, didn't you? And it's difficult to see that point of view because there's reasons for everything, even if it does feel like it's meaningless. There's always a meaning for some. Well, sometimes they're dealing with someone else's insecurities. Some are, yes, feel like they are a dictator or a narcissist. Doesn't mean that you're trying to heal it, but you can go through their, as they reflect on you, it's like an attack. Yes, healing the ego is not easy here. Some of you have healed it, become more humble. Many have not, and feel like they have a right to do whatever they feel like a kingship, a princesship. Now, some of royalty can treat people very kindly. That's not always the case. Of course, also, someone like Diana, the princess that's here, can attract a lot of lowlifes that feel like they're connected to, like a lowlife that feels like, oh, I'm connected to Diana, when true Diana really probably wants nothing to do with them. There's a lot of that going on all levels. Yeah, it can be a down to earth, down to earth royalty figure, and then this, yes, a questionable beings like, oh, we're friends, and the print, or for Diana, for example, it's like, yeah, that's what he says, but that's not really true. So, but for spirit guide betrayals, it's the guides can fight. Yes, they're, you can say it's rare, but it does happen. And if you're getting hit by a lot of attacks and all that, they can feel it, and it's hard for them to talk to. So it's not just alcoholism and drugs that can disconnect you from your guides. If you get energy attacked by an enemy of whoever, and it does happen, it's hard to communicate with your guides. Like, you can be traumatized almost by an energy attack, depending on what it is. And you're not trying to be negative, it's just that you're hit and you're not quite with yourself. And also, yes, possession that does occur too. And yes, that can happen through souls that don't love themselves at all, or another being can just come right through. That's not always the case, but there are cases like that. Some are just open channels, and beings just come through for whatever reason. There's that, and some are just bonkers that way. And there's others that just have no love for themselves. None. Now, where does that occur? Sometimes it happens with a mistake of theirs in the past. They have not come to terms of it. It could be a death of whoever, friends, family, whatever it is from other lifetimes, where someone just loses self-love because they're still blaming themselves for their mistakes, but they don't remember it. It takes a big person to allow, and it's from another lifetime normally. So, and why they attract all the things that happen in their lives, that could be traumatizing also. Well, when you lose faith in yourself, yes, you can go through a lot of traumas because you're attracting it. Because you don't care about yourself anymore. Sometimes you want them to help you with your exit, which doesn't always work out.